And we are live here to chat about tonight's episode of Suits, which was 14, which is just driving me crazy. We only have 2 episodes left this season, which is the last full season. It was entitled Peas in a Pod, and in true episode title fashion, the additional pea in my pod is here, Shana. You know, that sounded so bad when I said it out loud. Like, it sounded bad in my head, but it sounded worse out loud. Here we are. Regardless, you know what sounded probably better in my head than it also sounded out loud? Everything in tonight's episode. Not too much shade, though. There was some good stuff. Actually, there was a lot of good stuff. I'm actually pretty pumped about a lot of this episode, if I'm honest. We had the return of some familiar faces, Dr. Lipschitz and Harvey. What's her name? Scotty. You know,
Lucy.
one of those lawyers just waving a dongle around. It's fine. We had some interesting situations. Lewis actually defending Lipschitz I don't know, that was a really interesting setup for me. And Gretchen maybe getting a new man. I don't know. There's a lot going on. Shana, what did you think of tonight's episode? Kick us off. And those watching and joining live, kick us off in the chat with your rating on a scale from 1 to 5. 1 being you hated everything, 5 being you loved everything. I'm guessing, like me, you're somewhere in the middle and you hated some things and loved some things. We're going to get into it. Shana, what's your rating?
3.12.
3.12. That's so specific. I love that. The statistician in me appreciates 2 decimal points. Tell me how you arrived at that answer.
It was like there were things that could have made it like a 3.5, but then there were other things that were really obnoxious.
Yeah.
So, and the things that were obnoxious are kind of, for me, like big deals. So, but
yeah,
still, like really, like I actually found myself enjoying myself.
Yeah, me too. Like, I just found myself enjoying and engaged in the episode, even at parts where I was sort of like, oh, this could go one way or the other. Like, are we going to rehash Harvey and Scotty for this 70 million times? You know, like just all of that, which they didn't, you know, that was fine. But even at those points where I wasn't sure what direction they would take it, I still just found myself enjoying watching it. So that was really nice. So you mentioned that it was kind of riding that line of obnoxious but enjoyable. What are the moments that are standing out to you right now? What are the top scenes in your mind right
now? Katrina going off on Sam.
Yeah.
Lewis being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
With that patient. Harvey being an adult.
For a second, yeah.
And not, you know, just really not wanting to get back into that drama. Like, this is behind me. Scotty is behind me. But also, we shouldn't burn her for what we also have done.
Like some sense of self-awareness, yeah.
Yeah, whatever that argument with Donna and Harvey was, it's nice to actually see those two share a scene instead of her with some guy that literally no one gives a shit about.
He's just another cat for all I'm concerned. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. Gretchen existing.
I love that for her. Gretchen is never not entertaining. You can literally put her in the worst like setup and situation, like the time where she was like encouraging Donna to go after Thomas or whatever, like
what the fuck
just the next Mitchell. What, you know, and it's still entertaining to me. I love her. Okay, sorry, go on.
I mean, just things like that. Like, actually, I mean, and so this is what kind of plays into like obnoxious, but also good. Like the right at the end, it had like a really good, totally tropey, but really well played out, like super awkward 11-year-old Harvey trying to ask a girl on a date for the first time. Not being able to get the words out, and then of course the awkward interruption with Donna's pet rock. And that was like really good material. And then they backed it up with Harvey asking Samantha out, which was like,
Okay, I didn't take it that way. Let's talk about this. So you're saying Harvey asked Samantha out, and I saw them as going out for drinks as coworkers. But then when I started looking at social media, it seems like a lot of people really think they are going out. Am I being blind or fake optimistic? I don't know. Sound off in the chat what you guys think. Speaking of the chat, Samantha Voss gives this episode a solid 4 and says she loved the Darby moments. Okay, so is Harvey dating Samantha? Let me know. Shana, you go first.
I don't even know that it was necessarily a date, but it was like, oh, like the woman of my dreams is with somebody else. Let me just, the next person available, like, not even a rebound, but, and they made it ambiguous though, right? Like it's Korsha's whole, like.
I definitely think it was ambiguous, yeah.
Which means that the intent is to at least tease the idea that it might be a date, which again, we're almost done with season 8. It's been this ongoing thing. It's 2 episodes in a row that poor Harvey has been like really trying and failing to write "Do you love me? Yes or no" on a piece of paper to pass to Donna at lunch. And
to be fair, that can be hard to spell.
Yeah. Well, just the letter U and a heart, you know, and then yes or no. But like the fact that they even would put that as an ambiguous possibility, like as much as it pains me to see him just alone and dejected, like at the end of that last episode, I think it would have been storytelling wise, development wise, season 8.5, almost 9.
8.5, that's so, it's almost over. Can you believe? Steph in the chat, by the way, says, isn't Sam dating Katrina? That's what I thought as well. Dude. And Samantha in the chat says she feels like it was just as friends with Samantha from Suits. I don't know, Shana. I feel like I got some backup here. Like, I'm afraid you're right, but I think there's some people on my delusional side.
Well, I mean, and again, that's the thing. Like, it's not even like I don't know what I think. I just the intent to leave that ambiguity was there, and it's cheap and it's unwelcome and it's bad at this point. It's bad, really bad. If he was like, honestly, if they were gonna do the ambiguous thing at all, like, man, send Harvey out with Craig from Degrassi at this point. Like, don't do the, well, are they or aren't they? Just like admit where you are in your story and have him actually not awkwardly ask another woman out after he awkwardly failed to ask Donna out. Like,
I don't think he was trying to ask Donna out. I don't think he asked another woman out. I think we've been seeing Harvey be lonely for a while, which is a good plot move to get people to be sympathetic towards him after everything, after everything they've written that has occasionally made us not sympathetic towards him. And they've got Donna, maxing out her last possible option, the closest possible thing to dating a coworker without dating a coworker. She's dating a client, right?
Yeah.
And it is pretty evident that she's trying to make herself get into it. She tells Katrina last week that she's trying to make herself get into it. And everything on paper to her probably seems right. He's funny, he's nice, he's not her boss, like all that sort of stuff. But she's just not feeling it, right?
He's not even funny. He's
really not funny. I'm like, he's not funny.
And I mean, he's attractive by some people's standards, but when he's like standing next to Gabriel Macht in a suit, like it's like,
I mean, do I look at either one of them when they're standing next to Donna? No, but I would say that Harvey is probably more attractive than Thomas. I don't know. I mean, Thomas is tall, but he's just not really.
Yeah, I mean, you've met
me. He doesn't got. I don't have the.
Yeah, I don't need tall. Tall doesn't do it for me. In fact, tall is the opposite of it for me because I'm so like pocket sized. So, like when people are like, oh, and like when we were doing the lead up to this season, and people were like, oh, this guy is at least taller than Harvey. I'm like, and like your girl can wear like less heels and save her back and ankles with a not as tall guy. Like,
I mean, I think the whole like talk, like it's all just a dick measuring competition, to be honest. It's very like reductive and primal and stupid and whatever. But I think it's also just like a visual thing when, because Sarah Rafferty is really tall, there's just this, again, patriarchal and stupid and reductive idea that in a super heteronormative relationship, the guy is going to be taller than the girl. It's bullshit. But at the same time, like, a lot of the people watching this probably buy into this bullshit. Probably a lot of us buy into this bullshit when we're not, like, actively correcting ourselves. So that's probably what they were going for. It's like, what can we do that quickly and visually represents that he's Harvey's equal? Like, a dick measuring contest. It's stupid, but yeah.
Just put him in a truck with big tires, then. Fuck it. Like,
truly.
Get a compensation car. Harvey's got the penis compensation sports car. They could have given Thomas a truck that goes mudding. Boom. Done.
Just which one has a bigger gun or something? I don't know.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
God.
I mean, and it's like she tried to push him into, like, getting the words out, like, twice in this episode. I just wish he... And that's the thing. There was some debate with people I was talking to. I'm pretty sure, like, the thing that Harvey cut himself off from that Donna wanted him to, like, out with was, like, she's always been jealous of Scotty. That's what I thought he was going to say. And that's what some people did and some people didn't.
I really hated that insinuation. But go on.
No,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just hating that it even made it into the episode.
But it worked for the conflict, and it worked for, like, if he'd have actually said something, they could have finally had a conversation. Like, he's trying so hard to start that conversation and then stopping himself. Like, I wish he would just, and I'm sure, like, the whole point is that we want to believe that Donna wishes he would just say something too. But, like, I mean, I just, like, dude, you're gonna, like, just do it. Like, it's been a million years. She's like slipping through your fingers. Like, do something big. I think that's where we're headed. It looks like with the
very practical sense, the show is slipping through their fingers because the show is going to get canceled or has been, like, it's canceled after the next 12 episodes, which is fine. The show's run its course beyond respectable length of time. Fantastic. Like, not like it's not respectable. You know what I mean? Like, respectable and then some. You get what I'm saying. They really have to start the whole rebuild back up and give us the whole angst and everything. And it really does feel like a lot of those, in the introductory seasons where we'd have those little angsty moments. I know there was the Donna and Harvey angsty elevator scene where he's telling Jessica she looks beautiful, just kind of as an aside, and Donna thinks he was talking to her, and it's all very angsty. And then that kind of reminded me of tonight where, he was about to bring up with her the fact that Scotty told them both to get their shit together, and then her taller than him boyfriend walks in. It's all very reminiscent of early Harvey and Donna. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it is and it isn't, because, again, like, I mean, we've gotten where we've gotten, so we kind of are over it. Like I said, though, I do really think that the end scene worked extremely well. It would have been a much better, like, season 5 or 6 setup, or a better, maybe not immediately after Paula, but certainly sooner than where we are now set up. But I do think if we kind of delete some years to make ourselves happy, it was very well done. They were both dancing around the issue, and he was, like, choking on, like, you can see, like, the physical, like, trying to get a word and not getting, like, it was just so well acted. Like, that's why I haven't quit yet.
I just want to say, I see the most fantastic comment in the chat. Steph says, can I go all psychology 101? Maybe Donna's dating a client to subconsciously show Harvey her rule no longer applies. I love that. I love that analysis. And intellectual. Samantha agrees that Scotty said something to Harvey about Donna, like told him to start dating her, of course. Lindsay says Thomas is a prop. That is all a prop. That's all Donna's boyfriends have ever been, quite frankly. Convince me I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I don't know if that's controversial or not, you know, whatever, but that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Samantha Voss says Donna looked like she was hoping he'd ask her out. She was hoping he would ask her out. But she has a boyfriend. Ooh, drama, affairs. Ooh.
I mean, and again, so, you know, she did what she did. You know, she's seeing some mediocre guy.
Right.
Make a move anyway.
Right.
It's good for the goose and the gander or whatever. Like,
I literally did not understand any of that metaphor, and I was like, right, Shana's so smart. Like, I don't get it, but like, yeah, like that goose and gander. Yeah.
it's a saying, like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Like,
well, like, I don't in any way A, understand what that means, or B, understand how that ties. Like who's the goose in this situation? Explain
Donna.
It to Grandma.
Donna. So like it means like, okay, you know, what's good for one of us is good for the other one. So like it was good for Donna to interrupt his relationship and make a move. So that means tit for tat, if you will.
I am familiar with the word tit. You got me there. Go on.
Okay, so what Harvey needs to do, Donna grabbed his lips when he was dating someone. So what he do is grab her tit while she's dating someone. Does that help?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Thank you. Oh my God. Like, I feel like I understand figurative language now for the first time. Like, no one ever explained it to me that way before. I'm so sorry. I'm going to snap out of that character and be present. We didn't even really get to the Lewis and Liv shit thing. I just thought that was a cool storyline. I really don't have that much to say about it. I just thought it was interesting. The whole Samantha versus Scotty thing could have become trite and obnoxious really fast. And quite frankly, if I'm honest, it sort of did. But it was one of the better written Scotty storylines that we've seen so far. And Samantha's still, you know, I think on a good writing path, and I like the inclusion of Katrina, and I kind of want Sam and Katrina to date, or Sam and Scotty to date. I ask for so little. I give her options. I don't know why this is so hard.
I just, you know, I think for me, I was very pissed off, like initially seeing that, you know, Sam and Katrina are at odds, and then over here we bring back like female Harvey, one of the toughest women that we've had, and of course it's her against Sam. But again, it speaks to like it was so well played that as much as I hated like the thing is, like, it turned out in the end, you know, Katrina was really actually supporting Sam in the way that a good friend does, in terms of like, this isn't what you wanted to hear, but this is what we're actually doing because it's actually good for you.
Right.
But like even Scotty versus Sam was like so well played. I found it hilarious that the one way that this show is actually consistent is by recycling stories. So just last week, we were here are bad consequences for doing shady shit to save people's jobs. And this week, that was Scotty's thing. So, I mean, Scotty didn't have to go to like, you know, a guy who just got out of prison a year ago and a big wig at the SEC. She just had to go to Harvey. But, you know, it was very like going back to see old friends to help you out of this bad thing you did so that good people could keep working. Like, it's ridiculous that they can't come up with anything original, but they execute that same story over and over again so well, probably because they have so much practice.
They are in like season 8, and there's only so much you can do with the law at this point. Like, law and ethics is their premise. But if you compare it to, and this is a terrible comparison, I know, and I'll own it, like The Good Place, which has sort of ethics and philosophy as its premise. It's done a good few episodes and isn't really repeating story. Also, I also want to say I don't mind storylines repeating if they're good. What I don't need as a storyline repeating is, oh, Donna dates someone who's like essentially a cardboard cutout. Harvey almost kind of seems vaguely jealous and we don't ever explore it at all. Like that I could do without. Repeat the good storylines.
Mm. Speaking of cardboard, where's Jessica?
I put her in my closet and I forgot to get her out because I was gonna say the week from hell, but if I'm perfectly honest, the 2019 from hell, we don't need to get into it. I'm just working all the time.
Mood.
So that's fun.
Mood.
In super high stress and high stakes conditions.
So what you're saying is Jessica Pearson is in the closet?
Yeah, because she lives inside me. Stephanie in the chat says Thomas seems like a post-kiss rebound. Yeah, he does, and he probably is. Lindsay says it's Harvey's turn. It has to be him. Dawn already did the big move. Strongly agree with you, echoing and agreeing with Shana there. A lot of people in the chat agreeing with each other. Lindsay also saying she saw some anticipation on Donna's face. Yeah, it's what I know it's a frustrating setup, the whole, they're never ready at the right time. And, when he's willing to make a move, she was with someone else. And when she's willing to make a move, he's with someone else, and because they're trying to be their own worst enemy and they're trying to only go after each other when they know they're going to get a no. But yeah. I also see that we are right at 20 minutes. So let me toss you your last question. What do you want to see in the last 2 episodes? Go.
I want to see Harvey grabbing some tit. That's not
fair.
Samantha's, Katrina's, Gretchen, some random chick.
Oh God, can you imagine Harvey going after Katrina?
There's one tit that he needs to grab, and it's like Donna's left one. I'm gonna pick a side. It's gonna have to be the left. That's it. I just, again, we're moving into the very last season. Even if season 9 wasn't the very last, 9 is a big number. You have got to either advance this storyline or stop coming back to it just to tease people. That's where I'm at with that. I would also like to see, I don't know, when Gabriel was on Twitter trying to troll us, hey, what's happening? I was like, Donna doesn't know about Harvey's beard or whatever it was. And then he posted another thing. And I'm like, still no beard. I would like to see Harvey not shave, which I know is never going to happen. But I would like to see that. I would like to see your boy, after a long night of grabbing the left boob, forget to shave before going to work. I would like to see... I'm still holding out, and I know it's never going to happen, but if Katrina's doing product law, whatever, consumer yada, some point shoe company needs a lawyer. I need to see Amanda, who is a former ballet dancer, do a dance case. Give me that nod. Just do it.
It's what Shana deserves. To be honest, they haven't brought up ballet on the show in so long, which is tragic considering how many people have theater presence and background. I would like to see in the last couple episodes a lot more focus on Harvey and Donna and angst, and giving them all of the wonderful, fantastic, tropey and not tropey and angsty and happy and all of that sort of stuff that they should have been giving them in the last couple seasons, because they only got 12 episodes to pack it into. That's about it. Also, if they could write Lewis as staying not annoying until the end of the show, that would be fantastic. Also, give Katrina some happiness, and by happiness, I mean Sam. That's all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Join us same time, same place next week for the penultimate episode, number 15. I was about to say letter 15. Dear God, I'm going crazy. And in that episode, we have this sort of established pattern that I maybe overhype every year. I don't know. That the second to last episode, the one right before the mid-season finale, and the one right sort of before the finale, is usually great. I don't know if that pattern still holds. I don't know if that's actually a pattern, but I'm just going to cross my fingers and wait for it. Shana, if anybody has any questions or wants to talk to you more, I have your information down in the chat. Thank you for joining me.
Always, babe.
Thank you, everybody else, for watching, and all of the lovely commenters and theorizers in the chat. Stephanie says Harvey needs to talk like an adult to Donna. I agree.
He's 11.
And
Let him live.
and Suits TED Talk, How to Survive a Course Show. That's what I'm here for. Lindsay says if Harvey doesn't push Donna against the wall in her doorway and kiss her, I'm going to rage. That is a specific and valid request. Well, it was lovely talking to you guys, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.